Alright, as promised, in this video we're going to do the disassembly of the Astra Model 1916, or the Spanish Ruby, or just the Ruby. This particular gun's in pretty good shape to be over 100 years old, but it does have a few little issues with it. We're going to get those addressed while we got her apart, get it cleaned up, and put back together. Alright, please keep in mind this video is just for entertainment purposes. If you don't feel 100% confident in your abilities to work on your firearm, please take it to a local certified gunsmith. And as always, if you enjoy the video, you like seeing the history that we're going to have, please like, comment, and subscribe. Alright, we're going to do a quick safety check before we get started. Magazine is empty. Firearm is empty. Let's get going. Alright, first thing we're going to do is get the slide and the barrel removed. Alright, the easiest way to get the slide off is take the safety and you'll flip it into the safe position. Charge the slide back, which will lock it in place. You'll rotate the barrel clockwise up, give it a little wiggle and pull forward. Rotate it back down. You gotta find the sweet spot. Where's it at? There it is. And then pull it straight out. Then you will release the safety. Let the slide come forward. It will be under spring tension, so you want to hold it. It'll come right off. Sometimes your guide rod will fall out with it. Sometimes it'll be stuck in there, and then you can just remove it. Alright, next we'll get the slide disassembled. There's not too much in here to take apart. We've got an ejector to take out. Excuse me, an extractor to take out. We've got a firing pin to remove. You got your barrel. The barrel is already disassembled as far as it'll go. We'll set that aside. Your guide rod and spring on these are press fit together. There's no taking those apart. You can just clean that real good. Set that aside. And the next thing we'll do, we'll get ready and get our slide going. Alright, let's get this slide apart. We'll get our bench block over here. We're going to take the extractor out first. Get that out real quick. I'll try to knock this out the other way. Sometimes they come out easier one way than the other. There it went. Let's find our pin. There's our pin. Let's get our extractor out right here. And we should have a spring in here. We'll get that so we don't lose it. And we'll go on to the firing pin. Alright, now we're going to try to get this firing pin out here. There's one drift pin hole right here that's a little stuck. Put some penetrating oil on it. See if we can get it knocked out. It's been sitting a minute. Put our pin over there. Let's reach in and capture our firing pin so it don't go flying out. Let that off. Give her a little shake. That out. Let's reach in and get our firing pin spring out of there. And that's our slide disassembled. Alright, next we're going to get our whole lower receiver taken apart. So this will take a few minutes to get this apart. And we'll get that started. Alright, the first thing we'll do is we'll take off the left side grip. And then once we have that off, we'll be able to take the safety lever out. That grip off the way, and you should be able to take your safety lever and rotate and pull up and get that out of the way. We'll take and set these aside. We'll flip over and get the grip on the other side out. There's those. Flip it back over. We got your trigger bar. There's your disconnector here and your Sear. One of the problems this gun has is a part of that Sear is rounded off, and the trigger bar will sometimes slip off instead of making a good connection like it's supposed to, see? So we're going to have to try to fix that when we get it, go to put it back together. Get this screw out and get your Sear plate out of here. It'll just come right up and out of there. This is the part that's rounded off a little bit. We'll have to try to fix that or replace it. And then let's see here. I'm going to try to get this trigger and this disconnector out next. Now we're going to get this this trigger and trigger bar out of here. Pins on this gun's pretty stuck. They've been in there over 100 years, so I got some penetrating oil soaking on them. Been knocking on this trigger pin for a few minutes. It feels like it's about to come out. It's starting to move a little bit. Just about got it out. Sometimes these can be pretty stubborn. I guess if they've been in there 100 years, they got the right to be stubborn. There it went. Get our pin out of there. Now this trigger bar, it's spring loader. If you'll pull it down, you can usually push this trigger out the back here. We can get it moving. Get up in there, pry a little bit. There it goes. Get out of there. Give it a little wiggle. There we go. There's our trigger bar and trigger. And that is a nasty one. It's probably the First time that's ever been out of that gun since it was made. Now we should just be able to take our disconnector and slide it straight out the bottom. And we are on to getting out our Sear next. We'll get our Sear out of there. Alright, so we'll get this Sear out next. Now the Sear is going to be under spring tension right here, so we got to be careful with that. Take and get that. Well, that came out easy. Get this little pin out right over here. There's that. And let's try to hold this spring back so we can get our Sear out of there. There's that. There's our Sear that popped out. And there is our Sear and hammer spring. We'll set that aside over there. And then we'll get this magazine latch out of here and get our hammer out. There is a pin for this ejector bar right here. It is right here. If you need to take this ejector bar out, there's a pin right there. It goes all the way through, comes out right over here. It's milled through on the for the slide right here. If you need to take that out to replace it, that would be your pin. We're going to leave that one be because there's no need to take it out. Alright, we're going to get this hammer and this magazine release out. There is a hammer stop pin that stops the forward travel of the hammer. That's also the same pin that holds your ejector bar in. We're going to leave that in place. There's no need to take that out unless you have an issue with that pin or the ejector. There's nothing else moving on that, and it's not the easiest thing to get out for no reason. So we're going to leave that be. About got that. There's our hammer out of there. See if I can get the pin out the other side. There it goes. There's our pin and our hammer. And we'll go on to our magazine release. That came out fairly easy. There's our pin for that. Pull that out and magazine release should come easy enough right out the bottom. And that will be our completely stripped frame with our slide. There's our grips and all of our parts. If you enjoyed this video, again, please like, comment, and subscribe, and join us for part 2, where we're going to clean up all these parts and do the repairs. And part 3, we'll get her all put back together. Thank you very much.